I studied abroad the fall of my junior year in Uganda, and I interned with this awesome group called Child Restoration Outreach, CRO, and they work with street kids. And at the end of my semester, I was interviewing all of the kids, lots of different ages of kids, and my question was, what are your hopes and dreams for the future? And the little kids were cute. They said things like, I want to be a pilot, I want to be a teacher. But I asked one of the older kids who was about my age, and he and I had become friends. I was like, George, what are your hopes and dreams for the future? And he said, I don't know, because I've been accepted to university and there isn't funding for it. And that just hit me like a ton of bricks. It just seemed so unjust that he had gotten to this point in his life, had overcome so many obstacles of living on the streets and getting through his primary and secondary education and was accepted to college, but funding was going to be the thing that stopped him. And so that was the story that I brought home with me and shared with my community. I was in the church hall at my church up in Evanston, Illinois. I was sharing the stories of my time in Uganda, what I witnessed, what I experienced, and I had included my story about George. As people were leaving, one man came up to me and said, tell your friend George to start dreaming because I'm going to pay for the rest of his education. And that was huge. I mean, that generosity of a complete stranger who had never met George to say, I think what he wants to do is valuable and I'm going to support him in this. It gives me chills even saying it now, and I've shared that story hundreds of times. And then a family friend who's a lawyer came up and said, I set up nonprofits for a living, I'll set yours up pro bono. So at the beginning of the day, I had said eventually I would want to do this. And instead, by the end of that year, we had incorporated CROSO as a nonprofit organization. So CROSO, Child Restoration Outreach Support Organization, provides college scholarships to former street kids in Uganda. We've seen that this model does seem to work, where our graduates are becoming leaders in their communities and are now having these transformative impacts on their communities, and that's what we want. We want Ugandans helping Ugandans, and they're doing that.